Welcome back to Outback Gold Fever. We're traveling around Australia to detect for gold nuggets. We made it into an area near Murchison a few days ago. So we're gonna have a closer look around here and see what we can find. When we were here last year, we didn't spend much time in this area because we were on a mission. We wanted to head north after the travel restrictions were lifted. I've just been working the area in between the nuggets. I've got them all plotted on my GPS, and they are the waypoints from last year when we were here the first time and from the past few days as well. I'm excited. I've got my first signal of the day now. It's not a surface target and it's got a real smooth and mellow sound to it. That's a definite signal, and I'm just hoping it's going to be another nugget. It sounds like one, and there is not too much rubbish around, so chances are high it's going to be gold here. Oh, it's still in there. That is still in there. Sounds like it's getting bigger and bigger. I hope it's going to be a decent one. Oh! There it is. It is a nugget. Have a look at this one. It definitely sounded like it was going to be a bigger target, but I reckon that's over a gram, this one. That'll go almost 2 grams, I reckon. That is a nice piece of gold. Like I expected, it's quite water worn as well, like the other ones we found in this area. There's definitely more gold around, but yeah, this area is just massive, and we just got to be lucky and keep swinging and be persistent, and then we'll hopefully walk over another one of these.
I've been for a little bit of a walk around this reef here. There's absolutely quartz everywhere here, and yeah, the gold could be anywhere, but I've just got a bit of a signal here. It could be a hot rock, but I'll give you a listen. I just moved a few of the rocks there on the surface there, and yeah, that does sound pretty good. I'll give that a dig, and fingers crossed it's a piece of gold. Yeah, you beauty, that's a nice little piece of gold there. It's probably almost a gram. That is a nice little piece of gold to find here. Hopefully this turns into another area with a few more of these about. You beauty, I'm going to keep swinging from here.
I'm detecting in an area where I found a 4-gram nugget a few days ago. I decided to have a closer look around, especially under the bushes here. Now with a lighter Z-Search Coil on my detector, I'm able to push right under those branches without my arm getting too tired too quickly. So far, the only targets that we had were gold, and I've got 1 bullet. So it's a very good gold rubbish ratio. I actually got a nice sounding signal here. It's a bit of a screamer. Listening to the sound, I can tell that it's a target that's not directly on the surface. Instead of using my pick and taking a chance to scratch the nugget, I might just give this one here a scratch with my boot and see if it comes out easily. Sounds pretty big and noisy, whatever it is. I might just get the pinpointer out and try and locate it a bit better, because if it's a nugget, it's going to be a good one. And I really don't want to take my chances of scratching it. Okay, so our target is right there somewhere. But I think it's safe to put the pick into the side here and try and scoop it out like that. Probably better than using my hand to dig out the dirt. Where is it? There! It is gold! What a nice chunk again! Look at this one, that's a few grams and it's nice and water-worn again. How awesome is this? Nice and chunky. And a definite signal again. I'm absolutely amazed by this area. This one here is close to the 3 gram range again. What's really surprising is that these nuggets are actually quite water-worn and rounded. It's a massive area here and it looks like an old river channel got pushed up and deposited these rounded rocks and the gold with it. So it could be anywhere around here. I'll just concentrate around these nuggets here. Now I've got a few waypoints on my GPS and I'll just work my way in between those points.
Yeah, well I circled around that last piece I got there on the other side of the gully a fair bit and I couldn't pick up anything else, and I've just got another signal here and I haven't picked up any rubbish so far in this area, so fairly confident this should be gold. I'll give you a listen to this one. That sounds alright, we'll give that one a dig and yeah, hopefully it's a piece of gold. Okay, yeah, it's just a piece of rubbish there, the first piece of rubbish for this area, so that's pretty good. Anyway, I'll keep swinging and yeah, hopefully the next one's a piece of gold.
My plan for today is to head back to a patch that I found last year. Mark already picked up a few pieces in this area, which is very good. Now I'll have a look if he's left anything for me out on this place. We've had a few noisy days on the detector and I'm just hoping that he might have missed one or two.
I'm just circling my way back around the camp for lunchtime and I got a bit of a signal here on the way. I'll give you a listen, it sounds pretty good. Yeah, you beauty, a piece of gold. Only a real small, flat, flaky piece there, but yeah, the right colour. Yeah, happy to pick up another piece of gold. We'll mark that one into the GPS and we'll get back to swing on our way back to camp.
Funny enough, I didn't have to walk too far. I only took a few steps and now I've got a signal just there. Yeah, I already kicked the rocks out of the road just to make sure it's not a hot rock sitting on the surface there, but the signal is still there. So I'm gonna give you a listen and then I'll dig it out. Could be a nugget in there. I'll give this one here a scrape. I'm not expecting anything big, but I still think it's gonna be a nugget. So far I only really dug shallow holes, which was easy digging. This ground here is a little bit harder and cemented. That sounds very, very good. I'm down a fair bit by now and the signal is still coming out of the hole, which makes me think that it might be a bigger piece of gold. Originally thought I was only going to be a sub-grammer, but yeah, who knows with that sensitive coil, it could be anything. I'm keen to get it out, but it's gold. It's not as big as I thought. But yeah, that's just a sensitive coil, I reckon, because this is only a small piece and that's quite a bit of depth. There, have a look at this. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a specie or a nugget, but it's fairly rough. Like all of the pieces we got out of this area here. Funny enough, the nuggets we found on top of the hill are fairly round, and the ones we're picking up down here near the creek, they are fairly rough. Nevertheless, it's a piece of gold and I'm very happy with this. Mark had a look around here, hasn't found it all. Now I'm having a look around here, and next year we'll be back and probably pick up more gold in this exact spot here.
Yesterday I dug my first piece of rubbish just in amongst those trees just there, and today, yeah, I've got this nice signal just here. I'll give you a listen. That sounds really nice, and it almost sounds a little too nice, like it might be a bit of lead shot. We'll give it a dig and I'm pretty confident I'm going to call it out for a piece of gold. If you're new to the channel or you haven't worked it out yet, if I'm digging by hand, I'm pretty confident it's going to be a piece of gold. Wow, I don't want to sound greedy, but yeah, I was kind of expecting a little bit bigger piece than that, but yeah, that is a nice little piece. Nice little solid chunky piece, that one. Yeah, what I meant by I was expecting something a little bit bigger, I think it's just that coil is that much more sensitive to this smaller stuff. It's just sounding like it should be a bigger piece to me, but yeah, I'll get used to how sensitive that coil is on the small stuff, and I think this coil is going to be killer for us. It's going to work really well for us. I'll have a swing over the pile and over the hole and just make sure there wasn't something else in there. That's a nice piece of gold to find right here, and yeah, happy days.
I swung the coil over the hole again before I filled it back in, just to make sure that I didn't miss any more nuggets down deeper. But there was nothing there, so I filled the hole back in and swung the detector slightly around the hole, and I was just going to widen out my circle from there again, and actually got a signal right next to where I had the pile. So that's the hole where I just got that nugget, and I filled it back in, and now I'm getting a signal over there. Yeah, there's really not too much of a change in the threshold there, but I sort of waved the detector over and over again and tickled out the signal. So now it's a little bit more definite, and I'm gonna give that a scrape, and fingers crossed it's not a hot rock. Whatever it is, it was jammed in there quite well. This is hard rock here, so that could be the bedrock, and our target was sitting right in here, but it's out of the hole now. Oh, I can see it! I can see it! It's just there! Have a look. Oh, I hit it with a pick. Scratched it. That's close to 1/2 gram, and it's another nugget that we didn't hear before. So this nugget here is really, really rough, like the other ones we got out of the spot. I just plotted in the waypoints for these 2 nuggets here, and I could see on my GPS I'm standing right in between 2 of my holes that I dug for gold last year. It's just worthwhile to return to gold producing spots the year after, and yeah, even trying with a different detector, or maybe just something simple like just a new coil. It's another nugget, and I haven't even been here for an hour yet, so I'll keep swinging.
Okay, I've just wandered around from that last target, which is just there. You can see the hole over there behind that stump there, and I've just been circling around those bushes there and just started working my way down this bit of a drain here. You can see on the ground here the silt build up compared to the rocky areas over there. There's a bit of a silt build up through this area here, and so yeah, it's been a bit of a drain here for a while. Hopefully there's a bit of a run of nuggets down here. I'll continue working my way down towards the gully down there, and yeah, hopefully I can pick up a few more pieces, because I've just got another nice target here. It does sound really nice, and I'm not really going to call what size it is, because yeah, they're just still getting used to this coil here, so I'll give you a listen, see what you reckon. That sounds pretty sweet, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be a piece of gold, so we'll give that one a dig and see how big it is. So I was wrong again. I'll almost say wrong as usual, but it looks like a hot rock. I'll give that a bit of a whack with the pick and just open her up and see what it looks like inside. Okay, that one doesn't look like a typical hot rock to me. I'll give it a break up a bit more and see what kind of response we get out of the coil with each piece. Yeah, I'm fairly confident that that is just a noisy rock. I don't think there's any gold in it. We'll yeah, keep swinging, I guess. Hopefully another piece will turn up shortly.
I'm absolutely amazed by what's going on here. This is where I got the first subgrammer. I filled in the hole for the second one, and I'm getting a signal just over here, just next to that rock there. Absolutely incredible, but I've got a rough idea what this target is going to be. I'll just give it a scrape and see if the signal improves. I didn't even give you a listen. I'm so excited about finding gold here. I forgot to give you a listen, so sorry about that. I'll swing the detector, and I'm assuming that the target is still in the hole. Dropped it and found it. Have a look at this little one here. That is another prickly, rough little piece of gold. Right on the spot that I worked last year, and right where Mark chained as well. But maybe I'm just coming in on different angles, and I'm really slow here, moving in slow motion, swinging the detector several times as I go along over the same spots. Yeah, it's definitely worthwhile to work in a team, because everybody puts the coil on the ground in a different way or swings it in a different spot. There are so many factors that could influence your day of detecting and the way you swing.
Just on to my next target here, and as you can see, I'm just wandering down this wash area here. There was that hot rock there and the piece of gold from up there, and I've just got another target just here. It sounds pretty good, but I'm not actually going to call this one after incorrectly calling that one for a piece of gold. Don't get excited until the gold's in your hand. When you get those nice sounding targets, it's hard not to get excited and dream about all the things you're going to be able to buy by the time you get to that metre deep nugget. The reality of it is that yeah, I have dug a lot of deep rubbish, and yeah, you just got to try not to get too excited. I'll give you a listen to this one anyway, see what you think. Yeah, I'll just give it a dig, eh? It's the only way to know what it is for sure. Oh, that's sounding pretty good. That's got to be gold. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, this coil is really smashing these small pieces. It's yeah, I'm very surprised. I'm always thinking that they're going to be larger than they are because of the response that the coil's giving, but yeah, it's just this Nugget Finder coil. It's really picking up those tiny ones. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll keep swinging down this bit of a gully here, and hopefully I can pick up a few more of those.
So the original middle of the patch would be somewhere in this area here. And I've been digging up there, got one there, and believe it or not, I've got another signal just there where I was standing. This is where Mark got his gold. I can see another one over there. Unreal, I'm getting more signals still. How good. Let's see if this one here is another piece of gold or just a hot rock. There's definitely something there. I'll give it a dig. There it is. It's another prickly tiny piece of gold. Have a look at this small nugget here. That's another really prickly and rough one. Unreal. Another piece of gold from this spot. I'm really thinking that the Z-Search coil is slightly more sensitive than the 14-inch standard coil that comes with the detector. So I'm happy we've got these. It's a little bit of a game changer. So that's at least 13 waypoints there. And I have had a good look around this area. For me it's worthwhile to cover this whole area again and really slow down in between those old waypoints. When we were here last year, I actually filmed the nuggets that I found in this patch, and it was one of our first videos on YouTube, not even a year ago. If you haven't seen the gold nugget patch, I'll put a link for the video into the description so you can check it out.
I decided to get the chain out and just do this area in between this little bit of a wash and back up towards where I found those nuggets before, back up there. So I've just been chaining between that tree there and this wash area here, and I've just got a screaming target here. It sounds like it's a surface rubbish target, but I've only found the one piece of rubbish here so far, which was over and amongst those trees behind me. So yeah, fingers crossed this could be a nice piece of gold. I'll give you a listen. That's the kind of target I expect to look down and actually see the piece of tin sitting on the surface, but I can't really see anything there, so I'll give it a bit of a scrape, and yeah, hopefully that's a nice piece of gold. The target's gone, and I would say that's going to be on the magnet of the pick. We have a look there. I've got that massive rock there stuck there. I reckon that's that hot rock I just broke apart before, and one side of it went flying, and obviously this is where it's landed. So that's all it was. It's my own fault. That bit of hot rock I just broke apart earlier that went flying, and yeah, you can see that's got a high iron content in this one, a bit rusty inside. I'll throw that back over into the chained area I've already done, and I'll keep swinging.
I'm looking forward to a cold drink, but before I go back to the camp, I'm going to give my last signal here a quick dig. It's very hard to hear, and I'm surprised that I heard it walking past on the way to the fridge with the cold water. I'm not sure if you heard it, it's only a very faint one, but we'll give it a dig and see what it is. I'm really not too sure at the moment. I'll have to put the camera down and concentrate a bit more And then I'll see if I keep digging or fill it back in. I've dug about 5 or 6 of these false target holes. I'm gonna call it quits for now and head back to the camp for a cold drink and wait for it to cool down. I'm glad I made it back to the camp. Have a look at this. 41 degrees Celsius, which is about 106 degrees Fahrenheit. It's hot.
Yeah, it's actually been a bit of a hard few days here for us because it's been over 40 degrees here and quite warm, and there's been a bit of a breeze, but it's only a 40 degrees Celsius breeze, so it doesn't really cool you down.
I'm really impressed with the sensitivity of the Nugget Finder coil. I had a good look around an old gold nugget patch, and I was really surprised to pick up more gold in that area. And it was not only 1 or 2 pieces. You picked up at least, I don't know, 3 or 4. I got the same amount again, so very impressive. I sort of thought we were going to find more gold there, but that it was going to be that much, I really did not think in advance. So I can honestly say I'm very happy with that coil, and it'll stay on my detector for now anyway.
Yeah, it'll take me a while to get used to the response from that coil because it was pretty sensitive on those smaller pieces that I found, and like I said, I really was expecting some bigger pieces there just from the response alone, but yeah, I'll get used to that. And we'll be happy to pick up those smaller pieces as well because generally there is a lot more smaller gold around than larger gold. And obviously if you get enough of those small pieces, they do add up quite quickly. So having that smaller sensitive coil on the 7000, I think it's going to work for us really well. We've worked hard for these pieces, and we're just happy to get some gold at the end of the day, so we'll have a bit of a weigh-in. I might do mine first. We'll save the best to last.
Oh! Well, you got some nice pieces there.
Yeah, I only managed those 4 pieces. Quite nice looking pieces. So yeah, not too bad at all. Just a one with a bit of decent size to it, and the other ones are a flake and a couple of little small solid pieces. But we'll put those on the scale and see what we've got. I'll put this big one on there first.
Oh, nice.
1.5, that's pretty good. Not a bad piece at all. And I'll just throw the other 3 on there. Okay, 2.4 grams. So yeah, that's better than the last little stint I had out here. I'm pretty happy with that, 2.4 grams. That'll buy us a few noodles anyway and keep us going. So we'll have a look at what Chrissy found. She found some really nice pieces. So yeah, we'll put those on the scale.
I ended up with 6 nuggets, and 2 of them are actually quite nice and a bit chunkier than the others. And quite interesting, you can definitely tell where these pieces are coming from. The 2 bigger ones are nice and round from the top of the hill, and the remaining 4 came from the patch. I'm gonna start with the 4 nuggets of the patch. .4 grams in 4 pieces.
That's still nice though, yeah, like I said, they add up, so yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm gonna take these off. Now I'm gonna put this one on. Oh, nice. Almost 1.5 grams, that one.
Yeah, so it's all those pieces in one piece, you beauty.
Pretty much, yeah. And now this one here, I'm gonna guess that might go 2.5.
I'm gonna go 2.6.
Oh, what?
3.8, wow.
That is way bigger than I thought. Awesome.
Yeah, that's a nice solid piece, that one, yeah.
Cool. 3.8 grams. Yeah, it really doesn't look like a big nugget, but this one here is actually 3.8 grams. Unreal. Pretty cool. And it was a screamer.
So what was your total?
The total... just over 6.5 grams.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, not wrong.
Yeah, not a bad total at all.
That's pretty
awesome.
Happy with that. Oh, I'm very happy with this.
Yeah, so once again guys, thanks for watching and supporting the channel. We really appreciate it, and loving all your comments, and keep them coming.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you then.